tell me what you do and how long you've been doing it.
Sure. So, specifically with ZDM Writing, I founded it in April of 2021. So, it's still relatively new, but I've been a professional writer and researcher for over 5 years within different organizations. So, within ZDM Writing, I specialize in the three favorite things that I do, I should say, is legacy writing, copywriting, and marketing strategy.
Okay. So, what are some of well, let me ask about your team first and tell me how big your team is, how is it structured, and how have you built your team?
Sure. So since I still am very early in the process, I'm still in the solopreneur phase. So I don't have an extended team, although I do contract some folks here and there. So yeah, and I always lean on Damon John's quote that every overnight success took 5 years, right? So it is something that I do want to grow, but for now, I do try to maintain a full time job as well, and can definitely give insights into different, as you mentioned, retention levels and such related to other jobs I've had as well.
Okay. So, what are some of the issues you're seeing with employment? If you have to find additional people, are you relying on your network? Are there lots of people out there, or are you struggling to find people?
I do rely on network and friends, and so networking is a big part of what I do within my organization. Some challenges just with employment in general. Here in Kentucky, it is predominantly blue collar, and so having the the space for more creative jobs is a little bit more limited than, let's say, a bigger city. So that is a challenge, definitely, but it's also an advantage. Because there is opportunity there to grow, and the cost of living is lower over here, so there's opportunity there for employers and employees.
And what makes you stand out in terms of employee culture as opposed to the rest of the industry? There's a reason you went out on your own.
Yeah, so I would say something especially related to culture is really making sure that people have a sense of belonging. That Maya Angelou quote can't be stressed enough. People will always remember the way you made them feel. So that's just really important. Being part of the Gen Z generation, not being shy to talk about like mental health and sort of those topics that may be more taboo in other generations, is something that I hold very near to my heart, and definitely is something that I apply with clients as well. If I know that they're not having, the best time, or if they're unwell, there have been moments where I would, send like care packages, or any like vitamins or anything that could help. So that's just a little bit of how I distinguish myself.
Yeah, caring about the person and not the work is got to be our focus, because if you care about the person, they will get the work done.
Absolutely.
So, as you've grown and as you've been through this, and you're coming up on 2 years anniversary, what kind of challenges have you faced and what have you learned from them? And this doesn't have to be people related, anything in your business.
Sure. So there's definitely the like iron triangle that's always referred to in business, right? So price, quality, and time. That's always going to be a challenge. I always try to keep quality at the forefront. That's never something that I want to sacrifice. But it is challenging to kind of gauge pricing. But I definitely don't ever put that at the forefront, because I've read if you sell price, you buy stress. So we definitely always put quality at the front, and then timeliness as much as possible.
Okay.
So just balancing those three is definitely a challenge.
So, what advice would you give to someone else who's going to start this journey?
So I definitely would stress to focus on quality, as mentioned before, more so than growth at the beginning, because having those relationships, building that strong foundation, and is really important because that's really where you're gonna take root. It's like having like really quality soil, right? And getting enough nutrients and water before you really take off and sprout and grow.
I love that analogy. That's great. Thank you. So if you were going to start again, what would you do differently?
So I would definitely lean on resources that are available to small business owners, such as the small business development centers. There's some, nationwide. That having leaning on like a SCORE mentor. That's definitely something that I always advise folks. I would definitely do that. I would definitely lean into those things more. I think I was just really excited to start something new. But if I were to go back, I would definitely slow down a bit and lean on those experts.
It's a really, really fun question. What's the future look like? What are you going to, what do you envision that 5-year ZDM to look like?
Sure. So I do have some exciting news and this is exclusive, not a lot of people know. I am publishing my first book. And so that's exciting.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And a book can be a good lead generator in itself. So I definitely am looking forward to the path of, growth in that sense. And so, yeah, in 5 years, I hope, to have another book out and also grow my team and see where it takes. There's a lot of unknowns, but it's exciting.
Okay. I mean, do you have a plan for how big you want to be? Are you going to be managing a team of 100, or is it going to be?
I don't know about 100, but maybe, in the future, managing 2 to 3 more team members would be exciting.
Okay. So who are your clients? Who are you looking for?
My clients, a pretty diverse range from mental health readers to former employers will also refer me to clients that are looking to write their stories and such, friends. But it tends to be folks that are, I don't want to break down like age or anything, but anybody who's looking. Also, I found a niche in um, helping edit PhD dissertations. It's kind of random, but that's another group. So anybody that just needs quality editing or writing is definitely, I definitely still in the phase where I need to narrow it down a bit more. But for now, I'm just very open to a lot of opportunity and learning opportunities, especially.
So thinking forward as you're building your team, what kind of people are you going to be looking for? Are you looking for writers? Are you looking for editors? Are you looking for salespeople?
Definitely looking for grammar Nazis. That's what I'm looking for because I'm definitely much more the creative writer. And so I would definitely be looking for folks that are very talented and fixing all those grammar errors.
Yeah, I totally understand that. We relied too much on technology for some of that stuff. And
Oh yeah, you can't replicate. I've used software and then gone through and edited it again because it was just so off.
so anything else you want to share with our listeners about you, about how you chose this and what other exciting things are coming up?
um, I would say like the biggest piece of advice I'd give to folks that are wanting to start a business is to definitely make sure that you come from like a sustainable mindset and really like need to rest um, because that is definitely something that will be better long term than starting with the gas on the pedal. Definitely make sure to stop at the stop signs and take it in and also reach out for help. Asking for help is a strength.
Great. I appreciate that very, very much. Well, those are all the questions I have on the interview. So I absolutely want to thank you for your time.